Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Healing Playlist. I am your host, Desi, and this is a channel where I like to talk about healing, along with where I like to talk about music. And I'm learning as we go that I'm still healing. Honestly, I'm like reflecting on a bunch of my like spiritual along with prep talk videos, and I notice I don't get that much attraction to them versus my music, so I think I'm kind of gonna have to switch up this channel. But drop a comment on what would you like me to put out in the world, because I am interested in growing this channel, along with I'm interested in trying new things, and I really want to push myself to get out of my comfort zone, because I know a bunch of my videos are made like in like where I live, and I want your guys' feedback. It matters a lot to me. Just because I respect everyone's. No, I take that back. But you get what I'm saying. I just want to grow the channel. That's all it really is. But anywho, I hope you all are having a good Saturday. It is currently Saturday the 13th, and today's subject is a little heavy one, just because I want to talk about someone who has had a great impact on me that is no longer here, and today is their anniversary of them passing away. And I've talked about this person, I feel like, a few times, but if not, I'm going to be talking about my father. And I lost my father back, how long has it been? 12 years. So in 2014, yeah, in 2014 I lost my father. I was, oh my god, I was only 20 years old, so that makes me gonna turn like 33 this year. But yeah, I was only 20 years old, and looking back, I can't believe that it's, first of all, I can't believe it's been 12 years. And along with looking back, I can't believe that I lost my father at like such a young age. I think I downplayed a lot of what I went through back when I went through it, considering like the timeline and how much things were thrown at me. So I lost like my dad, and then I lost my brother within a year's time span. But I can definitely say, when it comes to heartbreak, that my the passing of my father was my first basically like heartbreak that I've ever felt. Like for me, like really going through it, like crying like for a week straight, I remember, and just really going through it. It was a defining moment, and especially like I look back at the time, I was living at my mom's house, and I was in community college. I think in like I had just finished up my first year, and I was excited because I knew me transferring. I knew I wanted to transfer out, either out of state or um, out of my area for sure. So I was on the mindset of where I wanted to go for school, where I wanted to continue my education, and just thinking about the future. And I had, the biggest goal for me to basically leave my mom's house for that time being. And I was so excited. Like, even though back then I was freaking broke, because I was like and I'm still broke, but but I was always like in and out of like retail jobs, and I honestly like did not have anything like long term, because I was like so young. I was only 20. Like looking back, I'm like, yeah, because you're young, like it's okay, like looking back, that you didn't have a steady job for a year plus, because I was just like, I'm gonna quit and find a new retail job. Like, I don't like these people. Like, anywho, being off subject. But yeah, I was just this broke college kid that had dreams and aspirations of leaving her hometown, and was looking forward to life. And I was taking out my classes, along with, when it comes to my dad, because this is where we're focused at, is my dad. I was debating if I wanted to tell like his passing, but my father passed away, I think, when he was like only like 55 or in his 50s. I'm not too sure. I'm like blinking out. But yeah, I want to say he was like 55 years old, and he died of cirrhosis of the liver. My father was a alcoholic, and as you imagine, that just came with a lot of trauma. However, now that it's been so many years of his passing, I understand on the choices that he made, reflecting, of course, on his own PTSD, and how he carried that, how he went about that. And it breaks my heart that he had passed so young and that I had to like go through that also young. But I'm, in a way, I understand now, since I'm older, that life throws a lot of curveballs at you that you don't really know how to handle. And I don't take anything back, and I don't hate my father. I miss him so much. I think about him all the time, and I've been thinking about him a lot lately, um, just considering the situation that I'm currently in. About, I don't know if you've seen any of my previous videos or if you're new to this channel, but I'm unemployed. And, like what's causing that is what's causing my anxiety over the roof and just going through it. Like I could understand why people turn to substances or do something out of their normal just because you go through and you don't know how to process it. But yeah, so I lost my father at a very young age, and considering his cause of death, it did affect me. Since his passing, I've I'll drink, but I honestly don't really like to drink just because of that. I know that alcoholism runs on in my family, and I've seen what it's done to the body. I've seen the cause and effect that it has on family, and I just don't want to even test like the waters when it comes to binge drinking or drinking all the time. Like I really don't want to do any of that. Like just because I have PTSD from my dad, and I'm I can't believe I said that out loud. But yeah, I've um, went through what I went through, and yeah, now that's been 10 years. I've gone to therapy over it, and I've been in and out of therapy for 10 years. I haven't been to therapy in about 2 years, just because I wanted to step back, and just because I think like when you get in the, when you might use like therapy as a clutch, and I think that's what I was doing. Like any time I would go through it, is I would just see it as a clutch and just go to it and just, not instead of going through it myself. And at a young age in my 20s and all that. But so yeah, I'm taking a break from therapy, but overall I do think about my dad all the time, and I do wonder like what he would think of me and what would he have to say about like the current politics of the world, the current affairs in the world, like what's popular in pop culture. Like I think about like what would he think and how our relationship would look like, because when he did pass away, unfortunately, we were on good terms. um, I I wish, of course, there's some things that I wish I could have said before he had passed, and now that he's been gone, it's unfortunate that I can't say those things. But I would ultimately like to say that that I was proud of my dad, and that he was one of the most he was one of the most patient men with me, and he was patient, and I have nothing but love for him, and I've have prayed for him and have left it to God, and fortunately God has led me to a light where it's like I see the cause and effect of everything, and that I'm understanding of it, and that I love him, and that I'll always love him, and I'll always protect his honor in whichever way. But um, yeah, I that's something that I'm going through today, is that today's his actual anniversary, and kind of he's one of the inspirations on me starting this channel, is because losing him had a lot of effect on myself and my siblings. And as you imagine, my mom, when he had passed away, they were already divorced and were divorced for a few years. So at that point, she was no longer his wife, and of course I think she was more hurt because her kids were hurting, that we all lost our father like so sudden and so quick and so young, that she just helped was there for us, and she was honestly so strong for throughout it all. Like was also very patient and kind, and gave me my space when I needed it. And I of course, like losing him along with all the other tragedies that I've gone through, like has made me and my mom's relationship so much stronger, and I thank God for that. And now that it's been so many years since he's passed, I think about like, do I wish he would have stayed longer? And I really don't even like to think about like with the what ifs, or like that type of like scenario. Like I just want to take life as it is. And I'm just grateful that I got 20 years with him, and I learned so much within that 20 years. I think I had to grow up real quick and look at life through a different lens when I had lost him. And fortunately, I had different father figures for myself when he had passed. But it's just like not the way I had imagined when I was younger. But now it is what it is. And like I said, I'm just happy that I got him throughout as long as I did. Like I really am. And how how much I miss him. Like I do miss him. I miss everything. I miss our phone calls. I miss playing dominoes with him. He was a real big domino fan. So was also a sore loser. He was a big sore loser. Like anytime me and him would play anything, he would get upset if he would lose. And it's funny because now I'm the same way. Now I'm a big sore loser. And he always wore like Ray-Bans, and he was all tatted up and real moreno, like real brown. Along with the funny thing is he always wore like white beaters, like white tank tops like this. And yeah, like I didn't know, but today I was just like, I'm gonna wear a white tank top. And it's funny because like he always would wear them. That was like his staple in his like wardrobe. Like he dressed like a basic like cholo. And it's funny because like I had I think it was like last New Year's Eve, I had spent it with my neighbors, and I had asked them, what was your like memory? What was your impression of my dad? And they were like, oh yeah, he was a cholo. And it hit me like right there and then in my 30s that my dad was a neighborhood cholo. Didn't know that at the time, I never really thought of him as a cholo, but yeah, he dressed like one. And I don't think he really like, he wasn't from anywhere, not that I know of. But yeah, he would just dress like a typical cholo and look like a typical cholo, like, with the like high socks or like Reeboks or whatever shoes he wore, like, and he just dressed like a typical cholo. But that's my road dog, and I miss him so much. And I hope this message comes across as something that's healing. And if you've ever lost a parent, how I always like to think about questions to ask the audience to like think of it an engagement. But if I don't really know what to ask in this kind of video, because for me it's like a little me opening up a little part of me that I was wondering if I should share or not. But I don't want to ask any questions on this one, and I think I'm just going to post this video. But regardless, thank you for watching this one, and I hope this video came off as resourceful and you learned something from this. But if you're going through something, know that we all are, or not we all are, but that it'll pass. And some days are not better than some days, and some days are good days, and some days are better days. But every day can't be sunshine. But either way, you have to look at the sunshine. When it shines a little bit, you make sure that you count those as sunshine days. And with grief, it just changes throughout the years. Like some days I cry, and because I think about losing him, and then some days I just am strong. But it's the grieving process is unpredictable. Like I feel like how there's like the grieving what's it called, like cycle. Like I wish I can say it's like that way, but it's kind of not. When I don't know, maybe it's because I am still haven't fully healed from there. Maybe it's just because I'll never heal from that. But regardless, I love y'all, and I hope you love this video. But catch you on the next one.